Good evening, members of the Rogers City Council, Honorable City Attorney Andrew Hatfield, Honorable Judge Chris Griffin, the Honorable City Clerk Jessica Rush, City Directors and employees, and my fellow citizens. Thank you for joining us for the 2021 State of the City Address. In a normal year, I would be doing this live from City Hall, but this year, as with many other things, we're adapting to a new way of life. So tonight, I'm delivering the first ever virtual State of the City Address without a live in-person audience. Before we begin, I would like to thank my wife Lisa and our daughters Emily and Haley and other family members watching tonight. We invite you to participate in the conversation on social media using hashtag State of Rogers. The COVID-19 pandemic has had an unprecedented impact. We've suffered tremendous loss and trauma in our personal and professional lives. While vaccines will help, this plague and its hardships are far from over. 128 Rogers residents died from COVID-19 related illnesses in 2020. That's 128 in our city alone. Let's take a moment to remember those we've lost and pray for their family and friends. Not only have we lost lives, but many have lost jobs, struggle to make ends meet, and are having a tough time finding childcare. As mayor, I had to make tough decisions. We were the first municipality in the state to issue a mask mandate, a mandate approved by the Rogers City Council and later adopted statewide by Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, validating our efforts to curb the spread in our communities. We launched the Keep Rogers Safe public health campaign, where local businesses could voluntarily pledge to enforce the public health directives and guidelines issued by the governor and the Arkansas Department of Health. We transitioned our homes into makeshift offices and school classrooms. The City of Rogers added Wi-Fi to 2 of our parks in some of the most economically challenged parts of our city, essentially turning them into 24/7 outdoor computer labs. That Wi-Fi can be used anytime from park benches, picnic blankets, and parking lots. We've allowed our businesses and restaurants to expand into nearby parking spaces to help them keep doors open while allowing for social distancing. City leaders are working on a plan to establish an entertainment district inside the city, which will allow even more distance among patrons. In a year of unknowns, the city collected $20.5 million from the city 1-cent sales tax. Even though the city received more than the budgeted $19.9 million, we normally see an average increase in sales tax around 5% year over year. In 2020, it was 1.6%. Unlike many other local governments, the City of Rogers never shut down, and all business services continued to operate at full capacity. As a result of good management of taxpayer dollars, we were able to keep all city employees on staff, avoiding any layoffs or furloughs that other local governments endured. Positive news in job creation was seen in 2020. The December jobs report from the state of Arkansas shows Rogers has a total employment of 35,210. I'm pleased to say that over 99% of jobs lost due to COVID-19 in our city have been recovered in 2020. We ended with 427 more people employed than when the year started, which is the highest job growth in Benton County. Our current unemployment rate is 2.9%, a significant drop from the 2020 high water mark of 8.2%. At 2.9%, we are well below the state of Arkansas's rate of 4.2 and the national rate of 6.7. Last year, the City of Rogers acquired the naming rights to the Uptown Convention Center, solidifying Uptown Rogers as the downtown of Northwest Arkansas. The City of Rogers has kept promises made to residents who passed a $300 million bond in 2018. Despite delays in this unprecedented year, our city leaders, planners, and engineers kept these projects moving. Here's a look at the progress.
See if we can get a little bit higher. Oh, the burns are so good. Woo!
In 2020, a lot went into the rehabilitation of Rail Yard Bike Park, making it the best of its kind in the nation. Before, weather forced the park to close often. We're proud to report Rail Yard Bike Park has been open nearly every day since reopening in November. Frisco Plaza and Rail Yard Park are taking on a new, colorful urban look. This spring, we'll be able to enjoy the completed downtown space. The 3 towers at the water stop feature designs from world-renowned artists. Soon, when it's safe to gather again, Butterfield Stage at the park's south end will feature live music in the 2021 concert series. The newly imagined Rail Yard Park is made possible through a Walton Family Foundation Design Excellence Grant. Rail Yard Park's improvements are already being noticed, as it was chosen for the Best of Design award in its category by Architects newspaper. Also, downtown Centennial Park is getting a makeover. You can expect renovations to be finished by the end of the year. These parks are nestled up to uniquely Rogers restaurants and shopping. Visiting downtown is even easier now after a restriping project added 244 parking spaces. The stunning new art and future events planned for Rail Yard Park is thanks to the addition of an Arts and Culture office. The Rogers Public Arts Commission will help steer projects and establish regional partnerships. Their next project will be to select artists for the alleyway activation projects, beautifying alleys and making them functional, attractive spaces for downtown businesses. Ozark Regional Transit now provides on-demand transportation, making it easier to get around the city. Soon, the express route between uptown and downtown will be back in service. The introduction of an interactive app makes the experience even easier for people to use the system. Construction at Mount Hebron Park is now underway, providing trails, playgrounds, tennis courts, baseball and soccer fields, and so much more to the city's west side. While the project will take some time to complete, the bulk of the work will be done in 2021. Parks and Recreation forged ahead to reopen parks and find safe ways to keep us active and have the ability to play safe through the pandemic. The Rail Yard Bike Park will soon connect to the greater trail system, a system people are using now more than ever as a safe escape from quarantine and isolation. Trail counts were up 60% in 2020 compared to the year before. Not only are citizens noticing our ever-improving trails, Rogers, the nerve center of Northwest Arkansas's bike trails, is getting national attention. We were ranked the 6th best city in the country by Places for Bikes in 2020. By this spring, Rogers will connect to Bentonville through the Beckart Trail from Easy Street to Water Tower Road. Our roads remain drivable because of the Rogers Street Department. The hardworking staff maintain more than 400 miles of roadways, 400 miles of drainage, 750 miles of sidewalks, and over 100 traffic signals. Our street department made significant progress on many city roads, including the reconstruction of Arapahoe Drive and improved drainage alongside it. The department made extensive improvements to Osage Road and Bellevue Road as well. First responders from the Rogers Fire Department do not have the option to work from home. Social distancing is impossible during the care of patients or while fighting a fire. Therefore, our department worked to create a process to track COVID-19 exposures on emergency medical calls and aggressively tested and tracked our personnel to identify potential problems and infections prior to them spreading to our workforce. Last year, our department cared for more than 582 known COVID-19 patients and had an infection rate of less than 2% impact on our firefighters. In addition to taking extreme measures to protect themselves in the pandemic, progress was made to better serve the city through our fire department. Fire Station 8 opened in August to serve the city's ever-growing west side, constructed a multi-story burn building and classroom expansion to better educate our staff at the Fire Training Center. We also added a new ambulance to Station 5's fleet and 5 new fire trucks across the city. Rogers Police also faced challenging times in 2020, not only because of the pandemic, but because of an increase in civil unrest. Rogers Police worked hard to build a bridge among citizens by listening when people needed to talk and engage with those who had questions for officers. Our police often go above and beyond the call of duty. This Christmas, a very vocal critic of our officers contacted the Fraternal Order of Police. He wasn't able to provide gifts for his family and asked for help. The Shop with a Cop program was wrapped up for the year, and the funds for the annual gift drive were already spent. Even though this man was known for his outspoken criticisms, several officers and police department staff members gave money out of their own pockets to help put gifts under this man's tree. The police department was reaccredited by CALEA in 2020 after an intense review of policies, practices, and past performances. To help manage and process the weight of the badge, the police department established a peer support group to help officers cope. In 2021, the department hopes to expand community engagement, something incredibly valuable that has been hindered by COVID-19. As the pandemic lessens in the months and years to come, officers are looking forward to going out and interacting with Rogers residents in a non-enforcement type setting. The Adult Wellness Center's leadership and staff have taken steps to protect senior citizens in Rogers, who are among the most vulnerable in the pandemic. They jumped into finding creative ways to serve their beloved members. Because the center's members are at the most risk for COVID-19, they were the first department to close due to the pandemic and will likely be one of the last to resume normal operations. While AWC's doors have been temporarily closed, they've continued to provide free online exercise classes and provide resources to help their members. Many Adult Wellness Center members miss the daily interactions with their friends and staff members and appreciate the outreach. When the center opens again, you will notice obvious updates. The center has been open now for 14 years and has suffered wear and tear from the over 1,500 members who use the facility daily. During the temporary closure, instead of leading that yoga class or art program, the center's staff rolled up their sleeves to clean, paint, and organize renovations. CARES Act funds were used to purchase sanitation technology and supplies to make the center extra safe when it opens. The Rogers Historical Museum was forced to close for 6 months during the pandemic, but is now back open for business in a limited capacity. New director Serena Barnett and her staff used that downtime to better the museum. They worked hard behind closed doors to update galleries, rethink the way they operate, and find creative ways to meet their mission of enriching lives through education, experience, and exploration of our heritage. This included engaging with nearly 360,000 people through virtual education programs, a new virtual database with thousands of viewable records, plus posting snapshots of Rogers history on social media. Looking into 2021, museum staff are planning for the 140th anniversary of the City of Rogers with a celebration and time capsule. Rogers Executive Airport also kept moving forward. Unabated by the pandemic, our strategic expansion plan continued to accommodate the region's growth. We have $3.8 million secured to update our aged and deteriorated taxiway and have utilities ready for further growth. A bulk of the major construction should be done by fall. In 2020, Animal Services had a 100% live save rate. Animal Services put 221 animals into their forever homes, many of them families who adopted a pet while staying home through the pandemic. 329 lost pets were returned back to their owners. The James R. Welch Recycling Center has worked hard this year to adapt to regional and global changes in recycling. With even tighter restrictions to material processing, the RRC was able to keep over 1,800 tons of recyclable material from our landfill, nearly 400 tons more than last year. The Recycling Center has also started working with other local cities with recycling programs that were going to be cut to allow them to continue recycling at no cost to Rogers. In partnership with Benton County, the Benton County Solid Waste District, and Rogers, we were able to keep the Rogers Convenience Center open through 2020. The center, now known as the Special Waste Drop-Off Site, helps to keep hazardous materials like household hazardous waste, tires, and other household items from entering our landfill and curb illegal dumping in our community. With a new partnership among these entities and the other cities in Northwest Arkansas, it will remain open through 2021. As you can see, despite the many challenges in 2020, some of which follow us into 2021, we have remained strong as a city and are in many ways stronger in the commitment of doing the people's business. I have maintained steadfast in the strategy of keeping our foot on the accelerator, as I believe once we get past the pandemic, there will be unforeseen opportunities, and we want to be in a position of strength. I'm so very proud of our city council, department heads, and the entire city staff. All of these men and women should make you feel a sense of pride too. They are among the best I've ever had the pleasure to serve with, and they are deeply committed to delivering a high level of service and professionalism while always keeping one eye on how we can do it better. On behalf of all of us, I want you to know what a privilege it is to carry out the business of the city on your behalf. While 2021 is looking positive for the battle against COVID-19, we're not out of the woods yet. We must, as a people, abide by public health orders, wear a mask, wash your hands, and socially distance. We pray for those who have suffered, and we look forward to better days. God bless the city of Rogers, and God bless the United States of America.